This is Pat Walker in Mission Winners. One of the best things that we can do in tactics is, before we start looking at a bunch of different stocks, is to frame up the industry groups so that we can see strength or weakness. It's a fact, it's not an opinion. A good portion of a stock price's movement is related to the industry group that it's in. One of the quick ways you can do it is just look at the ETFs. So let's go through them. Now, just lay a few things out for you. This is weekly on the left, daily on the right. This right here, I'll just show you so you know. What is that moving average? That is the 10-week moving average. The 10-week, which translates to the 50-day. This is the 50-day on the daily. Weekly on the left, daily on the right. You can see bigger time frame move here and the daily on the right. So what do we see here? You can say, boy, that's one ugly bar. By the way, there's a maxim with color-coded charts. In this instance, red is bad, green is good. But you must always look very carefully at each bar and note the open, the high, the low, the close. Look at this bar. It's a red bar on heavy volume, but it closed right near its highs. That's a telltale sign. They found support on there, bouncing off the 20-day. They found support on the IBD 50. Here's the next one. Gold. Gold miners. Just kind of going sideways here, just chopping around. There's no really clean entry right here unless it starts really lifting off the 20-day. We'll watch it and see. Junior gold miners, similar situation, just like the gold miners. Here's gold itself. Gold is doing a little bit better. Look at this. Here's junior gold miners, and here's gold. What does that tell us? Oh, well, gosh, if gold's picking up, maybe the gold miners will pick up too. Something to consider. Decent day on Friday on a slight volume pickup. One thing to consider, though, is look at this bar, down on fairly heavy volume. We always refer to the weekly, though, too. On the weekly, it's bouncing off the 10-week. Things that we take into consideration. Is there a really clean, tight entry here? Not yet, but it's still a leading group. Biotechnology. Nice pattern right here, fairly tight up here on the weekly, and fairly tight shelf up here. The bars, the intraday bars or the daily bars are a little bit loose. Notice that you can say that's a bad red bar, but notice what it does the next day. And again, I love training and coaching, going through the nuances of the charts. Look at this bar. I was an IBD meetup co-leader for 12 years, so we tear the charts apart. This is actually a constructive bar. Gap down, fell, bounced off the 20-day, closed right near its highs on a pickup in volume. North American technology. Been nice. We've been involved in technology for a while. It's leading, and it's been leading. Mid-cap, okay? S&P mid-cap. Chopping up here. The one negative with this, it's gappy. It's very gappy at this point in time. Be really careful with gaps. It's great when they gap up. It's not good when they gap down. So just things to be cognizant of. IWM, small caps, Russell 2000. It's hanging in there, but again, the market was fairly strong on Friday, and this really didn't do too much. So we'll watch it. No really clean entry right there. Mid cap, decent, just walking up the 8-day. What does this tell us, though? It does point out that it's trending up. And we'll see this in a minute. The QQQ, SSO, they've been acting decent, getting better. Mid-cap's doing better, too. What does that tell us? The market's spreading out. Now, that's not a green light to go buying. It's just telling us things are getting a little bit better. Oil services lifting up on the daily. Weekly, this is ugly. This is ugly, okay? That wasn't mom and dad selling here. Leave that alone for now. Software. Software's done well. Well, guess what? We've been involved in software. And we have for a while. Why? It's trending up. It's outperforming the market. That's why. And you can see it in the chart. QLD. Nasdaq-100. Been involved with QLD. The Nasdaq-100. Look at this sucker. It's not that far off all-time highs. I'm not saying it's going to hit it, but it's outperforming a lot of others. Just study this chart and look at where it is in relation to the highs on Nasdaq-100. Look at where it is in relation to the 50-day. QQQ, same thing. That's the non-leveraged one. Looks fine. Steel. picking up a little bit. By the way, I want you to think about this. If the world's falling apart, you'll see certain industries, and I'm not saying steel necessarily here, but you will see certain industries that say, it doesn't make sense. If everything is just, falling apart, there's some industries that aren't acting too bad. Again, I'm not forecasting saying, oh, it's an all clear, but it's just things to take into consideration. SMH, semiconductors, hanging in good. Look at these tops right here. Up on good volume, down on heavy volume, but less, up on good volume. Semiconductors, technology, we like that. Spiders, lifting on up, finally pushed through here, and it's slowly grinding up. Good to see. SSO, that's the leveraged. I love QLD and SSO, I'll just tell you that. Solar, another growth industry, hanging in there. Small cap, just choppy. It can't get going yet. By the way, can you guess why? Look at this. This is a waterfall, folks. This is the weekly. This is a darn right waterfall. You think there's some sellers up here that say, good Lord, when I get near my price, I'm selling overhead supply. Something to watch. But if it keeps on going, what does that tell us? The big caps are leading. The mid caps are leading. The small caps are leading. The rally is spreading out. Oil, this is way down here, folks. You can say this is a low-level cup and handle. Look at all the overhead. There's better fish to fry. Aerospace and defense picking up a little bit. That's good to see. Home builders. Folks, consider this. Everybody talks about, COVID-19. And by the way, I am not the eternal bull. All I do is observe what's happening. But everybody talks about it's the end of the world, and the COVID-19 and everybody's going to die. Okay, I'm not diminishing COVID-19. I'm not ignoring it. But if that's the case, homes, who the heck would be buying homes? But look at what it's doing. It's picking up. That's good. Is there a spot to buy here? Not. But again, if everything's falling apart, home builders, who's going to be buying homes? Remember this. Stocks forecast the future. Stock price action forecasts the future. Materials, picking up. Look at that, weekly and daily, picking up. Materials. Communications. Look at this, getting closer to all-time highs. Communications, technology, energy, kind of related to energy. It's still lagging here, okay? There's not a lot of leadership here on the weekly and the daily. Financials, picking up a little bit, but still a ton of overhead. Nothing to do really. Industrials picking up a little bit. That's good to see. Again, industrials. One of the best things you can do is study the charts and don't get too wrapped up in all the news. Bias will enter into your thought processes. Let the charts tell you what to do. Technology, hanging in. Look at that. Really not that far from all-time highs. That's good to see. Now, am I saying it's going to hit all-time highs? No. But has it been outperforming other areas? Yes. What does that tell you to do? Maybe I should look at some technology stocks. That's how you do it. Systematized. We do this every day, and we point these things out to the Mission Winners Meetup VIPs. Just telling them what's going on. The Mission Winners VIPs. Just look at this. Helps us. Consumer staples. Think about this. Oh man, the market's falling apart. Everybody's got to wear a mask. By the way, I'm not saying not to. That's not my point. But everything's falling apart. Well, the consumers, looks like it's kind of coming back. That's a plus. That's a positive. Utilities, that's a necessity. Kind of lifting up. Nothing really special. I never really get excited about utilities. Healthcare. Now, this is related to COVID-19. Healthcare stocks. Hanging in good. Good. Near all-time highs. Consumer discretionary spending. These stocks have been picking up. This is why we really basically ignore the headlines and let the charts tell you what's going on. Metals and mining, lagging, nothing really special there. Retailing, look at this. Retailing lifting up. Again, the consumer. I'll pause here and share this. Please do not think I'm the eternal bull. I'm not. I'm just observing what is happening. That tells us a lot about what can happen going forward. Software. We saw another software stock that's doing well. Look at this. Lifting on up. Been involved with software. Back to the IBD 50. There we go. Anyway, that is an overview of the ETFs. Just by going through this, you have greater clarification on what to avoid and where to possibly look pockets of strengths to deploy money. What's the big takeaway? Well, there's some sectors that are improving and have been improving, and that's why we've been involved. Technology's been good, and technology is a leading area. It's cutting edge. Things to take into consideration. You can go through these charts in literally 2 minutes, and you have a great feel for strength, weakness in the market.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.